Good morning, everybody. I want to say good morning, everybody, and welcome to Power Plays Palace. I am your host, Jay Boogie, and today we have a lot to talk about on this Friday morning, and I hope y'all enjoying y'all Friday already. So, you know, let's get down to it. Whew, what we looking like? Look like a lot of stuff going on early in this morning. So let's start with yesterday. We're gonna start by setting up our yesterday's high right here. Put that in yellow. We always do. And we're gonna set up yesterday's low right here. And you see yesterday's low is a little bit lower than the low from the day before, and that's a high or a low from a previous day. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make that orange. And right here we have the pre-market low from a previous day. So hold on. Let's set up our pre-market high. It's gonna be white. We're gonna set up our pre-market low. Mm-hmm. Okay. Change this color over to red. Pre-market low from a previous day. It's actually the pre-market high from a previous day. And we're gonna change this one to red. Alright. So let's look at our charts. See what we did yesterday. Yesterday, coming out of the pre-market, you see SPY bounced off a trend line, worked its way up at 9:45, which would have been the first 15 minutes. In the bottom, so in your first 15 minutes, you have a high and a low right there, which I talked about the open range, but that's a whole nother trading strategy. But as you can see, when the market opened, SPY went up, felt a little resistance from this pre-market high from the previous day. And what it did was it bounced off, pulled back, grabbed this liquidity. See, these key lines, man, they keep showing back up. But that's a reason for that. It's because if you back test, if you're looking back, you'll see that when SPY was in this area before, because we in the all-time high area, it reacted. So by looking at that, you can, if you're watching the chart through this lens, you can kind of see that coming, especially if it worked back into this area. So you can actually see that. So you can see SPY come up, went up, established a new high, broke through the pre-market high from yesterday. Remember, made that purple line because it established that during the pre-market. Broke through, established a new high, and it didn't get there. Now, it worked its way up early in the day, right here around 11 o'clock, noon, works its way back down. Now, around 12 o'clock in the U.S., that's when the London market closes, so it's 4 o'clock overseas. So usually you see some reaction around lunchtime, but that's why. And what happens there, it comes back, gets some more liquidity, works its way up, comes here. See, it left some liquidity here on the way down. Got some orders here. Came down, got some more, pushed its way up. Then it rejected. Whenever you see the all-time highs, new highs established, it rejects. That's our intraday Fibonacci retracement. We use that to kind of project what SPY could be going. But if you can see, I left it up here. Look at her. SPY came down, hit the trend line, came back, worked its way back up, got some resistance here. Remember, there's a liquidity, that's a key level. worked its way up, hit another trend line, but that trend line coincided with the 61.8 on the field retracement from this previous move from here. See, sometimes you can see these things, these patterns start to form, and as you start watching this stuff, you'll start to get better. And look what happens. It works its way through. Now this is pre-market. Now all this stuff is happening overnight, but it's a continuation of what's been going on. And look at here. Just this morning, pre-market here, reaction, broke through the trend line up, stayed on top of a trend line which has been controlling it up for a while. Look at that, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4 times it hit this spot. It broke through another trend line that was trying to push it back down. See, if it stayed below this trend line, it would have went down. Broke above that, still respecting this same trend line. And look where it could possibly be going based off of previous moves. Look at all that liquidity. So in the pre-market, we can see that it's already higher than it was yesterday at the close. And you can see it's been a lot of action going on. And so what you've been seeing in the pre-market and what's going on now is you can already see that it's probably going to be a good day for SPY to be moving up. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Do not try to fight against the trend. Here's our chart from yesterday. As you can see on the chart from yesterday, we said we're looking for a bullish setup around the 634 dip, down the stop loss below 399, with our targets at 634, 634.42, and 635, which is another psychological level. But it actually broke through all of that. What we didn't get yesterday, we didn't get to get into our puts. So if you played yesterday, if you traded yesterday, then you should have been in calls most of the day or playing off of these rejections once the SPY got to these key levels and bounced off. You could have did some quick scalping. Let me zoom in. You could have did some quick scalping off of that when it was coming down, like right here in this area. 635 came up, touched 635, and then it rejected. That could have been a good play down. That could have put it down. But if you were playing this for just as the market trend, then you would have played these up, sold, and waited for these pullbacks to these key areas, because we already had seen that SPY was respecting these areas. Matter of fact, if I'm trading this right now, and I will be sometime today, I'm probably not buying any puts on the SPY if I'm trading options until it breaks below this trend line. And the reason is it's been respecting this trend line now for pre-market, yesterday, all day, then pre-market overnight, and then it hit pre-market again. And it's respecting these levels, and we're in a major uptrend. You can see we've been in that uptrend for the last week or so. So why go against it unless you're gonna be quick scalping? And so that's just my recommendation. It's not necessarily financial advice, but it is a recommendation based off of past practices and what I've seen the SPY do and what we've seen the SPY do over the last week, if you've been watching the videos. So what we're gonna do now, today, as we can currently see, the SPY is it's right here back at this pre-market high from another day. It's respected it 1, 2, 3 times, and it's at the trend line. It's in these two spots are intersecting. So whatever comes from here is probably going to be a strong move, just based off of regular trading rules. That's what you would normally look for if whatever comes off of this, because of this wedge and all this stuff that's controlling this, the way it's moving based on these indicators. That's where you can probably see once it breaks out of this area, there's going to be a big move one way or the other, and that's usually what happens. So with that being the case, what we're going to be looking at today is for our bullish setup. We'll be trying to look to get in around the 634 with a stop loss around 633.99, with our first target the retest of the 364 and the 334 and 335 up to the 336.15 high. And you definitely want to look for that. Now, if it breaks at 636 is a key area, but with the high that it reached yesterday being 636.15, then you got to understand that is the place you want to see it break. Even if it breaks and hold above 636 as the high, it's good, but you really want to be careful if it doesn't break past that 636.15. All right, and for our lows today, for our bearish setups, you want to play that off the rejection. If it starts to reject hard off any of these key levels, 635, 634, or 636, if it starts to reject hard, you can look at the chart, follow what you see. Then you want to try to play off of those levels. I would not try to project the highs off of this. I would just play off one of those levels, and you would set your stop loss 20 cents above those psychological levels. So if it's 634, you want to go 634.20. If it's 635, you want to go 635.20. If it's 636, you want 636.20. And that's just so you can have enough room for the liquidity grab just in case. And then with your target being 634 off of 635, 633.99, and 633 and below with that area. And if that's the way I would probably view that, just based off what I'm seeing, and you can see what's going on this morning. If you're scalping it, play it off a psychological level. 635, 636 back down, and 634 off a pullback up to 635 and 636. And those would be the areas I would target. Now, as we can see, just looking at the market, overall, the market is bullish. It's been bullish all week. It's still bullish. It's Friday. Be careful. SPY do some crazy things on Friday sometimes. So be very careful when you're doing it, when you're playing SPY today. And then, be safe with your account. Don't blow up your account thinking you got it all figured out. Because we've done that in this group so many times over here at Power Play. We've thinking we got it figured out and made a mistake that ended up being fatal. And that can happen sometime. But if you want to, man, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to join us over here at Power Plays. And we are trying to continue to get better, and we are trying to be better traders. And for today, I hope y'all follow the trends. This is not financial advice. These are just some ideas that we have based on what the chart is doing and what we see. But you're more than welcome to join us. There is going to be a link in the description where you can click on that link and it'll take you to Patreon. And from there, you'll be able to get into the Power Plays group. And you're more than welcome to join. I am Jay Boogie. We trade over there every day. We have our fun. But you're more than welcome to join. And if you're enjoying the videos, please like, share, and subscribe. And we appreciate the support, Thank you.